Hey, welcome to the podcast. This is Unqualified with Matt and Teddy. I'm your host, Matt. Teddy is out for this episode, but there's replacements. I got a bunch of good people. Dave, what's up, bro?
What up, what up?
From what, episode 1?
Episode 1, OG.
Episode 1, original. Joining us again, Kris.
Hello.
From episode, what, 4?
3.
3?
Yep.
Episode 3 alumni. Klinsmann here with him. What's up, bro?
What up?
Chiming in. All right, well, let's get into it.
Start football?
Gonna start football. We do every time. What happened this weekend?
Not much, really. A bunch of close games, but big news is the injuries.
I did see a bunch of injuries.
H-Town hero,
J.J. Watt.
Oh,
Heartbreaker.
probably out for the season. Knee injury, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Houston devastated. Worse than Harvey.
Yeah, cut the man a break. He's out there saving people. Any other injuries? That
yeah,
one.
Odell Beckham
Oh, yeah.
Snapped his ankle.
snapped it nasty. You could see it in the replay. Nasty. Crying on the field, bawling his eyes out.
I kind of want to see it.
He's hanging out with Drake at the hospital though, so
Oh, yeah.
that's gotta make up for it.
So, just those two? Those are two big ones?
Yeah. He just like rolls on his leg.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like on nasty snaps, but
I'll put the highlights up on our
there it is.
description and everything.
Oh, that was very nasty.
Oh, if you guys want to see, if you guys want to see the break with us, just go to our description. I'll have the link to this video on there. If you guys didn't watch it, Odell Beckham Jr.
Watch a little more. He's bawling his eyes out.
Oh, snapping his ankle.
Skip to like the end.
I want to see it again.
Ooh.
Oh, oh, it went sideways. That's not how an ankle's supposed to bend.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. So those two, and they're both out. I mean,
Pretty
that
much
doesn't
out
look
for the
good.
season.
That's out for it. Yeah.
Both surgery. Done.
So what happened to J.J. Watt? What is it, like a ligament messed up knee or broken something?
Probably
or?
something like that. I seen his Instagram picture and
Tore something.
like an ACL looking out of surgery.
Man, they really act like they're world leaders when something happens like that. Like him going like, I apologize to all you fans out there. I'm so sorry. I'm devastated having to go. Like, bro, you just hurt yourself. Like, who cares what people think?
Man, they take their craft seriously.
Yeah, he sounds like he's running for governor or something.
He is. Houston hero, Matthew. You respect that man.
Yeah.
He will be back.
Any other games? Anything big happen?
Big news. Adrian Peterson traded to the Cardinals. So you remember talking about the dude on the Saints getting into it with the coach. Well, they just traded him to the Cardinals.
They're like, nah, you're not getting into it with our coach.
Yeah, he wants to be a superstar, basically. So I'm pretty sure he has to leave. Cardinals need a running back. David Johnson was like a fantasy football star. Everybody picked him, got hurt like the first week. So he's going to go in and replace him.
Is that bad for the Saints?
No. Saints always have like 6 running backs anyway.
Okay.
So is he going in to replace that other guy that got hurt and like
Yeah,
definitely, or just while he gets better? Or
I'm sure they only signed him for a year like the Saints did because Adrian Peterson's almost washed up.
yeah.
So
Okay. Anybody win?
Packers had a big game in overtime. Cowboys, Packers.
I saw a
Aaron
bunch of
Rodgers
losses. Yes.
come in clutch, fourth quarter, just like every single game. He waits till the fourth quarter and just goes off.
Is there highlights of that? I didn't actually see the game, but I saw plenty of memes on Instagram.
I heard their defense was terrible. Wasn't that the big thing?
For who? The Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Awesome offense.
Aaron Rodgers is
I
clutch.
guess.
That's all it is. It's a real thing. He's clutch. That's about it. Nothing really.
I didn't even check. How did the Chargers do? I know Teddy's going to want us to talk about the Chargers.
Chargers beat the Giants.
Whoa, they got their first win. Shout out Chargers. This one's for you, bro. Shout out Chargers.
Against the Giants, who are 0-5. So.
Oh, okay.
Battle of the losers right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing really big. Nothing coming up that's too important. too crazy.
Okay. No big games coming up this weekend?
Not really.
Okay. Did you want to go over baseball? I know we have not covered baseball since we started this podcast. We're talking about sports, and I guess the Houston team, the Astros, are doing awesome, and we haven't been paying attention at all.
It's October,
Give them some coverage, bro.
October is necessary to talk a little baseball. Playoffs starting.
We'll do one episode.
H-Town coming through with the sweep against Boston.
Heyo.
H-Town hold it down, you know. Then you got Yankees just beat Cleveland. Now they're moving on, knocked them out. I think you got a Game 5 with the Nationals, Cubs. Cubs are the last year's World Series.
Nationals suck, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty sure they're nubs.
Pretty much. And I don't even know who the other one is. Big talk, though, is MVP talk. Who's the best? So you got Houston's Altuve, little shortstop. Dude has, like, unreal stats, numbers. Then Yankees got a rookie. He's just a giant juice head, looks like. His, like, 50 home runs just is unreal, beating Yankees records.
He was the one that was setting a bunch of records, like, a month or so ago, right?
He's beating
I saw a
Yankee
bunch of
records, which is huge, beating Mickey Mantle and all them.
Yeah.
That's a real big talk. Who's going to win that? Because Astros shortstop Altuve should win it, but home runs, you know, everybody'd rather home runs than base hits. Yeah. So there's no telling.
Okay. So that's pretty much it in baseball?
Pretty much it.
We haven't covered soccer yet at all, but the only thing I know about soccer now is that the U.S. team has eliminated themselves from the 2018 World Cup finals. Or,
What?
it's the World Cup, right?
USA lost. It's
First
like the first
time-
time forever, huh?
USA's not going to make it into the World Cup?
Since like the 80s, yeah.
Even Egypt made it into the World
Yeah.
Cup this year.
I mean-
oh my gosh.
U.S. definitely didn't deserve to be there. I watched a little bit of
no
some of these
way.
last games, but
That
Yeah.
sucks, man. I wouldn't say I'm a huge USA soccer fan. But
No,
definitely
who is?
Always root for the
But it's
for
USA,
the home
baby.
team.
Yeah.
America.
yeah. So, basketball, NBA, nothing's going on. Basketball hasn't started yet. Next week.
It's preseason,
yeah,
huh?
The
Preseason.
preseason games. Right
Rockets
now.
have been doing well.
Rockets won 2 games already in the preseason. So
I thought they won 3.
no.
No?
No, I think it's only 2.
Oh.
Whatever. They've been winning.
Yeah.
But
Going
preseason.
off, man. Yeah, ridiculous.
looking
amount of
good.
3-pointers.
How-
James Harden.
I was about to
doing
say,
good.
how's Harden doing with this new rule?
Oh, new flop rule, whatever.
The Harden rule. We went over this
Harden
last
rule,
episode,
yeah.
if you guys remember. Harden rule.
James Harden's a beast, bro.
It don't matter. He
Is
still
that
had like
affecting
30
him?
points.
Miller said Teddy said that's really going to affect him.
I don't see that.
It hasn't yet?
No.
Okay.
It ain't easy to just throw in rules, you know?
Right.
Refs are still going to call it.
Okay.
A little soft league.
Um,
Kyrie went off today, I saw. Celtics, he got traded from the Cavs, big team,
He
big
looks so
trade.
weird in a green jersey, dude.
It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
It does not look right. But he got a superstar role like he wanted, so
okay.
got what he wanted.
So all these guys are moving around teams to find which one they can be the big star of.
Yeah, it's a battle of the superstars.
Right.
Cavaliers falling to the Bulls.
Is that why Lonzo went to the Lakers?
No, it's hometown, Matt. It's where his dad wanted him to go.
His mom's sick, bro.
It's where his dad wanted him to go.
His
man.
dad called it.
Bro.
His dad also called that they're all going to the Lakers.
Right. We'll see how that
Yeah.
goes.
So,
You give him the same college, not the same pro team.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Aren't those two kids like 15 or something right now? Isn't the youngest one like 15
one
or
of that,
16?
yeah, one of them is like.
Yeah.
The middle one's in college now.
We'll
though.
talk a while. Is he doing well?
They haven't started yet.
Teddy was saying he's not that great.
He doesn't seem like he's good. I'm sure he's better
We'll
than what
see.
people say, but he's the worst of the 3. That's what it is.
That sucks.
I remember them saying that probably the youngest one is probably the better one.
Yeah, but
Really?
he's got an ugly shot though. Like,
Really?
you have to. You might not know anything about basketball, but it just looks ugly.
Huh.
Ugly.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for the balls.
Keep your eyes on the ball.
Keep your eyes on the balls. So that's pretty much all the rest of the sports. You guys want to get an MMA? This is gonna be an MMA.
Are they gonna make shirts right now? Is Is Big
What?
Baller Brand gonna hear this?
Big Baller
right now?
Brand already has shirts, hats,
Are they gonna
shoes.
make Keep Your Eyes on the
Super
Balls?
expensive.
shirt?
Keep your eyes on the balls. Oh, if they don't already, they should. Me and LeVar are going into business.
No, don't you dare.
Me and LeVar are going into business. Be our new sponsor. Unqualified Matt and Tay, sponsored by Big Baller Brand.
Oh gosh.
We got the balls. Is that what you?
We got the balls. There we
Is that
go.
the motto or something?
Is that their motto? I don't know.
It should be. No, it's definitely not. So we can go into MMA now if y'all want.
Let's do it.
The experts in that. So this weekend's cards. 216.
The GOAT.
Demetrius Johnson with the
Goat.
Great.
I mean,
Goat
everyone's already
confirmed.
covered this. but
Greatest of all
GOAT confirmed.
time.
if you guys want to see the best submission in MMA in history, watch Demetrius Johnson's highlights. I'm going to try and post a link to it in the description on YouTube and iTunes. So if you guys want to see it, you can just click there or just search it. I'm sure you'll find it.
I'm sure
But
they've seen it.
yeah, that suplex where he throws Rayborg into the air, and then as he's falling down, pushes his head, grabs the arm, and drops into an arm bar, just jumps into it. It's crazy. That's like, I'm not Matrix stuff. That's video game stuff. That's
Yeah, it's like movie stuff.
yeah. No one's ever done that in history, and I don't know. Is it even that crazy? He just kind of threw him and then jumped to an arm bar.
I mean,
But no one's ever done it.
try it. Just try
Right,
it and
yeah.
tell me if
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
I don't
Try
thi-
it at the highest level and tell me if it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing
Those
it.
were like several steps, like done like that,
Yeah,
like high
for
level.
sure.
But I heard Ben Askren saying something about like the fact that he chained those together like that no one's ever done.
Just on the move.
Sure.
I mean, just on
Hit
the
that
fly,
man
it
with a
seemed,
ridiculous combo right there.
Yeah.
Is that something you practice though?
He said that was something his coach taught him forever ago. I forgot who his wrestling coach is.
I don't know. I don't know,
somebody
but
big,
I
but
did
he-
remember him saying that.
Yeah, his wrestling coach taught him that forever ago. He said it wasn't even anything he was drilling. It was
He
just
said he does it a lot in practice or whatever.
Yeah.
Sparring partners, so.
the mighty suplex, or what do they call it, the mighty arm bar, something like that. It was pretty crazy. So they had that one. That wasn't even the headlining
yeah.
fight,
That was
which
co-main
is-
event.
Which is ridiculous,
Yeah.
right?
Sad.
I mean, to me at least, that
Co-main
seems
event.
ridiculous.
It's crazy. He just broke Anderson Silva's record.
Christ.
I think he's just happy to be fighting on pay-per-view.
Yeah, getting pay-per-view points.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever.
How do you think it did though? Good pay-per-view numbers? You think?
No, it didn't. I don't think it did well at all.
Right.
I know it didn't do well at Gate, but that's because they're in Vegas, and
Right,
you know
right.
they just had all the Vegas stuff going on.
He's probably at like 400,000, maybe.
Maybe.
400,000 buys, 300,000.
Something. But
And that all came from Ferguson Lee anyway.
Ferguson Lee anyway, which was the headlining fight. Tony Ferguson versus Kevin Lee for the interim lightweight title, which is Conor McGregor's belt, the 155 division.
We all know people were only watching that fight to see what Conor would do.
Right. Everybody was like,
To
well, let's
hear
see.
about Conor.
Yeah.
Well, I think people were
How
hoping
much
that
we miss him in the UFC.
I think people were hoping Kevin Lee was going to win and then somehow get him versus Conor.
I feel like that's what Connor was waiting for.
I think he was
Because he came out and said, "I'm gonna wait and see after this."
I think Kevin Lee's a more marketable fight
He would much rather fight Kevin Lee
than
because of the popularity.
Tony Ferguson.
That's how it seems.
And Tony Ferguson's a threat on the ground. I don't know if Kevin Lee's that much of a threat. He hasn't really fought that many great dudes. But so Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson submitted Kevin Lee in the 4th round with a triangle choke from in his guard,
Yep, off
which
the back, yep.
yeah, shout out to good guard game in MMA.
Yeah.
My coach talking about that.
Did Kevin Lee win those first, like 2 rounds? You think? The
I
first
gave him the
round,
first round for sure.
I'm trying to remember.
First round when he did that ground and pound at the end, huh?
He
Yeah.
did
Towards the
that-
end of the
threw a
round.
punch after
Yeah.
the
When he got
bell.
mount,
Yeah.
dude, that was slick.
I thought that was it.
But Tony Ferguson said he was waiting to tire him out. He saw,
course
and
he
it's
said
funny, dude. My coach, yeah, right. My coach
All
called
according
it.
to plan.
My jiu-jitsu coach messaged me on Facebook minutes before the fight and was like, I feel like Kevin Lee looks like he's too pumped or something like that. Like he looks way too into it. He looks way too like he was yelling before at the weigh-ins and stuff. He was getting real like amped for the fight. And then I think he did. He, blew it in the first couple rounds. Round 3 and 4 looked terrible.
Can't all be Conor McGregor, right?
Conor McGregor does that.
Yeah.
It blows it all out.
We can't all be Conor McGregor.
And,
Nah,
yeah.
but Conor McGregor's raw.
Yeah, of course.
Stop with all that blasphemy.
So yeah, he got him with the triangle, and
Kevin Lee cried for about the whole 5th round.
Oh,
I thought we were watching Ferguson Cormier for a second. I was like, what's going on?
That's the new thing, right? Is
What?
just weeping in the middle of the octagon.
Fans love it, huh?
they
Yeah.
cry. No, they don't.
No,
Teddy hates it too. He keeps trashing Cormier
it's
every
It's
episode.
uncomfortable. It's like,
Don't cry.
get the camera off him. I want to see this.
Yeah, for real, that's disrespectful. Somebody should have a word with those camera guys. Like zooming in. They're crying.
High def.
That's
Yeah,
cold.
like-
Yeah.
Get a mic in there to hear him.
You can hear they're sobbing.
Oh my god, let's listen close. Replays of him crying.
Just replay it over and over again.
Slow
Cormier
motion
crying.
Bud Light replay.
So the Kevin Lee lost. We'll see what happens with him. He says he's moving up a weight class. It was a rough weight cut for him. He took 19 pounds in one day.
Oh.
Pretty crazy. And he had a staph infection. You guys could see that big lump on his chest.
Oh.
I don't know how the doctors just like let that go.
They didn't really talk about that a lot. Did
No,
they?
they were like,
They
forget.
should have mentioned
Joe
it.
brought it up on the broadcast.
But that was maybe a big factor, right? Because on all those antibiotics they put you on, like
Yeah.
kind of make you like.
They're
tired,
supposed to tear you out,
drowsy.
tire you out, yeah.
That's not gonna throw a red flag with USADA, huh? It's antibiotics. You never know.
Oh,
Oh,
No,
it might not have been on.
He actually said he didn't take anything. Is
Just
what
like
he
fuck
said.
it.
Oh, he
fight
just-
with this that.
Yeah, because he said that he didn't want to take it, and that affect his performance, so he'd rather just go in.
right. Yeah, you're probably right. The antibiotics probably do the worst.
But staph doesn't really hurt you, right?
What do you mean?
Like physically.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
I mean,
it
I think
affect
it's
you?
like any sickness.
I think it
kind of just
tires you,
drains you.
yeah.
Like-
Yeah. So, and then what Tony Ferguson saying he was aiming for it or something.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that before. He's like, "Oh, I was aiming for it. It was like a big target or
Punch you right in
something."
the stab.
Why are we punching people in the chest?
Right.
How about you aim for his face, bro?
Nah, do it.
I mean, yeah. What am I telling Tony Ferguson what to
Hand
do?
to the chest, connect with the chin. bro.
Do whatever. Yeah, do whatever you want to do, man.
He's so weird he might actually do it on purpose, really.
Yeah. So he won. No one really wanted El Kakui to win. I was voting for him, or rooting for him.
I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
I didn't. care
Klinsmann
who
didn't.
won.
I actually
I
kinda
didn't care who won.
He's weird. That's what I think.
I thought he would win.
I think that's what gets
Yeah.
He
people.
kind of seems like an asshole, but so does Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
I felt like he probably had more. At first, I was like, man, who has Kevin Lee even really beat? Like,
Yeah, really.
He had. I mean,
This was
Chiesa,
This is the
but
biggest
yeah,
step
but
up.
who is that
Like,
guy anyway?
It was a
Right.
big step up, right?
and so now he's going to try to move up to either 170 or 165 if they make a 165 division, which I've been calling for a while. If you guys want to read my article,
I
go to
read it.
Bloody Elbow. I'll link it in the comment. I wrote an article about this very thing. So
You have enough to do.
They would give it to him too, just because they want him to be a superstar.
they want to.
There's
promote
another
Kevin Lee.
adding factor.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would jump on that weight class too.
165.
Oh, absolutely.
165? Yeah, there's people pull from 70 and 55. I think Cowboy would probably drop.
Yeah, that'd be good for him. He's
Mm-hmm.
right in between.
Even Masvidal, I could even see that. He doesn't cut much weight for 70. There's a few of those guys I could see moving down, or Woodley even going up,
Can
which is crazy. He's so
Kevin
short.
Lee hang at the heavier weight class? Is he gonna be small?
I don't think so.
guy?
I mean, he could be like Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
Sometimes
short,
does kinda
huh?
look small for
yeah,
170.
he looks very.
He does,
small,
but
and
he's killing it.
I mean, who's he fought though? Like,
He just beat somebody.
Safardine or somebody? I'd have to look that up.
or nobody?
It was a contender. I remember.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
It was someone that surprised me.
Yeah, I remember it was a fight that definitely put him back in like the picture.
So they had that. I'm trying to pull up the rest of 216. Oh, Verdum submitting Walt Harris armbar. That armbar was clean.
Yeah. But
That
Give
back
guy
take.
props. Give that guy props for taking that fight.
Last minute because our boy Derek Lewis from Houston.
The Houston hero.
He had to pull from the fight last minute, hours before the fight because of a back injury.
boo that man.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Can't root against
Boo
Houston.
that man.
Derek Lewis, we'll see what happens. He's had that back injury for a while. Last couple fights has been bothering him. That's why he was so tired out from his last fight. He said his back was hurting him towards the end. So got pulled from that, which, I mean, come on. You got to say something beforehand. Give him a little time to... I mean, who else would they have gotten, though? I think Ngannou said he was hoping for the fight.
But he's fighting coming up, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think he was trying to stay ready. He's in Vegas anyway.
Why though?
and he would have jumped on against Verdum. Against you beat the number 2.
Yeah, that seems very risky though.
But it's our notice.
I think he would do better against Verdum than
You
Overeem.
think so?
I wonder if he thought the same thing.
I don't know, man. I feel like people are underestimating Verdum's striking, man. His striking
You're right.
has gotten way, way better.
Right, but I think Ngannou probably is like, all right, my striking's probably better than Verdum's than it is against Overeem. Fair? Overeem's
So
got.
he's pretty much counting on Verdum not being as good a striker as Overeem. That's what you're saying?
I would assume so.
Overeem's a better striker for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not even
yeah.
debate.
So it's just, I think Ngannou was like, all right, let's stay ready. Maybe I can go against Verdum instead. Because if you beat Verdum, you're in title shot next anyway. You don't have to fight Overeem.
Yeah, it's kind of like nothing.
Isn't Overeem? When is Overeem ranked though? Isn't he number 1?
He's
right now?
number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you beat number 2 still. You're there.
Yeah.
You're ready for the title shot. Overeem just got beat, so they have to pick you. So I think that would have been good. I didn't even watch this fight. The Mara Berea. Oh, I watched a little bit of that. It was boring. Benil Dariush, Evan Dunham, those guys, I'll be honest, if they don't like get it together and figure out something cool, they're just gonna. Yeah, that was one of the majority draws. There's 2 draws on this card. If they don't step it up, like they're both just kind of boring. They're both just. I mean, they're good.
Evan Dunham's been around since 2010.
Benil Dariush has been. I mean, that's been a name for a little bit right now, but
Yeah, he's
not doing anything. He's not doing anything cool or crazy to any interest or anything. They're just like, oh, they're good fighters.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah, Evan Dunham was on a tear when he first came out, and
Evan Dunham looked like a zombie in that fight.
just fell into like mediocrity.
Yeah, he just won't die. Cody Stamen, Tom Duquesnoy fight. That one was really good. Cody Stamen ended up winning. Duquesnoy was the big prospect on that one, that French kid. But I don't know. That wasn't really anything crazy.
Close fight, split.
Yeah. Then Lando Vanata, Bobby Green draw. Did you guys see this one? Dude, you gotta go back and watch this fight. Lando Vanata, Bobby Green. That was nuts.
They got fight of the night, didn't they?
I think so. That was nuts. It went all. I mean, and they both were like, "Yeah, that was probably a draw." They're super close. Even after they were both just like, "Yeah, we knew it." Lando's face was busted up. He was bleeding a bunch, but you kind of had him winning the fight, so you're going like, "Man, he's getting beat up, but he's winning." And Bobby Green's jab, he was just snapping him with that jab the whole time. Broke his nose, I'm pretty sure, like first round. He was holding it a bunch, and he kept kind of like breathing out of his mouth. You can see him trying to clear his nose a little bit. But Lando he wasn't as flashy as he usually is. I think he was worried about that. I think he was worried about getting caught with one of those flying kicks or whatever. So that one was a really good fight. You guys should definitely go back and watch that. And then
The rest.
Oh, this one I wanted to talk about. Magomed Bibulatov. We talked about him, I don't think last week. Maybe it was the week before. Maybe it was last week.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Teddy said he wanted to name his kid Magomed or something. Magomedov. He wants to have a little Russian kid. Magomed Bibulatov. This guy came in, 15-0?
14.
14-0? Yeah. So he came in 14-0. He's from Russia. He's from Chechnya. Yeah, he's a Chechen fighter.
You're really good at pronouncing.
Oh, yeah.
I can say.
And yeah, he came from Chechnya under Ramzan Kadyrov's MMA promotion. So anybody who's never heard of this, and Chechnya is a Russian state? I'm pretty sure. Some part of Russia. Yeah. The Chechen Republic. So he's friends with Putin and a bunch of stuff. His country's crazy. He's like, he's telling people to go out and kill gay people. Like literally, he's like, go out and murder them. We don't need them in our country. Like freaking out. He minority, like all kinds of stuff. He's got a lot of crazy stuff here.
Dude's a killer.
Yeah, he's a straight killer. He's crazy. Yeah, comments about gays and stuff. He had a lot of things with child fighters and stuff like that. Like a lot of weird human rights violations and stuff going on with him. So a lot of people are really against him. He has an MMA promotion that he's trying to build with his government where you're not fighting for money or like kind of titles really, which I'm sure they have titles, but you're fighting for places in his government. You're fighting for like power in the government and to be like part of his state.
Jesus.
It's pretty
Some
nuts.
Street Fighter shit.
He brought Verdum, Weidman. I I can't remember. I know those two specifically, but a few other fighters. He's flown over there, and people ask like Verdum about his relations with him, and he's always like, "Oh, no comment. It's all just strictly business, MMA related, nothing to do with any of his politics and stuff." But his politics and his MMA are together. They're one thing. He's at all of the MMA events. He's there. It's called Ahmed Fight. What is it? Ahmed Fight Club or something like that. Ahmed. That's his dad's name. He named it after his dad, I guess. Unless his dad was a part of it.
So the Russian Trump.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
If things get out of hand.
And then they're talking about how they thought they were like pulling children from orphanages and telling them to fight, and building them up from really, really young to fight in this promotion. He's trying to like make MMA.
It sounds like some gang stuff. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. He's trying to make MMA some kind of weird government thing. It's run by MMA fighters. I mean, it's not going to be probably the smartest in a couple years.
I just keep
test for CTE for sure.
Thinking like Street Fighter. Like,
All these people.
Bison's like the best
damage.
fighter, but he's also in charge of everything.
It does feel like that.
That's so strange.
Yeah. So Ramzan Kadyrov, one of his boys, Magomed Bibulatov, fought this weekend, and he got knocked the fuck out.
So obviously it's not going to work out for him.
Oh, he's one of the few that they sent over, and they're all like undefeated, 14-0, 15-0. And I don't know if those are padded records from Russia. They've been fighting.
Well, they're probably fighting people that were forced to fight.
Right. People we've never even heard of.
12-year-old child.
Yeah. Some people that they kidnapped. Gladiator style. Who knows who they're fighting, but they're supposed to be really good. Bibulatov last fight was really good. And then this fight, I don't know, he just got caught. I'll be honest. I still think he's better than a lot of these guys, but he got caught. He went to sleep.
Was
so
he
I'll put
winning
that
up until that moment.
yeah, kind of, but it didn't go very long. I want to say that was the first round knockout. But he went stiff. I'll put the highlights of this on the descriptions as well. Magomed Bibulatov.
He was a favorite, right? He was a heavy favorite to win that, right?
Yeah, World Fighting Championship Akhmat is what it's called. But yeah, he hasn't fought anybody. They're all in Russia. So they had that. That was this weekend, and then they had Bellator too, right? Did we watch? Did we watch Bellator?
Did you?
I watched a little Bellator kickboxing. I think Bellator was the day before.
They had they have like a Bellator kickboxing thing.
Yeah, I watched some Bellator kickboxing. What's his name made his Raymond Daniels. Raymond Daniels killed it. That's the guy. I don't know if you guys have seen any of his highlights where he does these like. He did one where he did like a side kick off the body and then in midair flipped and spun and kicked the dude in the face with his other foot.
Nah,
it is insane. Raymond Daniels is nuts. I'll try to put that highlight reel in the comments too, so people can see that. Yeah,
and he came from USC, right?
Raymond Daniels? No,
he's a
kickboxer.
different guy.
So, what's Bellator doing now with their kickboxing? Is it like, are they doing like how Pride and K1 used to do, where they maybe do like co-events, where like some fights would be?
I don't think they've done any co-events. I'd have to see. I don't think they've done any co-events.
I want to say they did one, didn't they?
They should, but they do them. It's immediately the end of the card. They were like, now stay watching this on Spike or whatever they're on, and Bellator kickboxing is next.
Is it like in the same arena?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I think I saw a setup where they had like a cage on one side of the arena. And
then they have that flying cage or whatever, right? They drop the cage down or whatever.
Yeah, so strange.
Let me see if I can.
Do people actually watch it? They can't have very many numbers on it.
On Bellator?
The kickboxing after.
Oh, no, probably not.
I mean, there's.
I don't know if you guys saw that.
Kickboxing has a following.
Yeah. So, there is another big kickboxing fight coming up. Rico Verhoeven versus Bigfoot. Silva.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Silva's making his kickboxing debut. Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy. He's going to get murdered, right?
Bigfoot?
If Mark Hunt's murdering him?
Sure.
Bigfoot's kind of, I won't say fell off. But.
Yeah, he's definitely fell off. No, you can say it. That's pretty safe. You can say it. That's safe to say. So, speaking of Mark Hunt, how about, so they pulled Mark Hunt, if you guys don't know Mark Hunt, the Super Samoan heavyweight. He's been in a lot of issues with the UFC lately. He keeps trying to sue them or something for making him fight Brock Lesnar and all these other roided out dudes.
Super Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so he's all mad. He's all mad they keep making him fight these big guys. And then he's surprised when the UFC wants to pull him from cards. I mean, you can't sue your boss and come out and be cussing about him, whatever.
I mean,
But
yeah.
the real reason I think they pulled him from this card is because a week or two ago, he came out in an interview and was saying he has big lapses of memory loss and like he's slurring his words, and you can hear it when he talks. But he says the UFC took that out of context, and that he was talking about when he was drinking or something that he slurs
He
his
says
words.
he slurs his words when he drinks. That's what he says.
Is that... yeah. So I don't know what they mean by they called it out. 'Cause I heard on a bunch of radio shows them talking about him having all the brain trauma.
Obviously
So how
he
about you don't
does.
talk about that, huh?
Right.
Don't tell your bosses that you have brain trauma and then expect them to put you in the ring.
Maybe it's for the best, though.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it probably is for the best. But
Was he 44? 45?
yeah. But he was headlining a Sydney card. That's his, this is his people.
Right. That's what, and he's got all the reason to be mad.
Yeah.
Because every time he fights, it's somebody that gets popped. And it's
But his
just
last 3
adding
fights,
on
JDS,
and on.
Overeem, and Brock Lesnar, all popped.
And it's just adding on and on and on, and he gets dropped from the card. He's got all
Sorry,
the reason
Mark
to be
Hunt.
He kinda
mad.
got
Sorry,
shit on,
Mark Hunt.
yeah.
There's nowhere for him to go either. If you go to Bellator, you're only fighting roided up dudes. You go to Ryzen, please.
But he would look good at Bellator.
He would.
The heavyweight is the division in Bellator, you know?
Bellator, there are. I mean, it's all old men though. It's Fedor,
yeah.
Mitrione,
Big country.
Big Country now.
But he fits in.
You heard he knocked
And then,
out
yeah, I
Big
guess it
Country,
You want to see Mark Hunt versus Fedor?
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Mark Hunt versus Big Country, the battle of the fat
They already
boys.
fought.
We already saw that.
Mark Hunt knocked him out,
Right.
yeah.
Knocked out cold. Little rematch?
Yeah. So he got pulled and replaced by Verdum since Verdum didn't take any damage in this fight.
Yeah, he looked like he was just messing around with that guy.
Toying with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once it got to the ground, it was cake.
It was just over from the
Yeah.
gate.
So that's pretty much it with UFC. We can go over next week's cards if y'all want.
Anybody got early predictions? Or what's...
So the next fight coming up is Bellator. I know not a lot of people watch Bellator, but if any of you guys know Gegard Mousasi from the UFC, he will be making his Bellator debut against Shlemenko. Is that the champ? No, this isn't a title fight. Alexander Shlemenko. Maybe he was a former...
Oh, wait, is this 185?
Yeah. Yeah, 185. My girl Heather Hardy making her second UFC fight. Heather Hardy was a boxer, pro boxer, undefeated. She's super tough. She came in her Bellator debut, and you could see, like, she started off real timid, and then when she got, like, probably her nose broken or something, when she started bleeding, you could see, like, in her eyes, like, it changed. She beat the shit out of that girl the next 2 rounds. Murdered her.
Got woken up.
And then she was like screaming up on top of the cage and stuff. It was nuts. So I'm rooting for Heather Hardy for sure. Neiman Gracie, one of the bum Gracies.
So what made Gegard Mousasi come to Bellator? I never...
Money. And he figured he's not getting a title shot coming up at 185. I mean, what, you have Bisping, Yoel, Weidman,
GSP.
Rockhold, GSP.
Well,
he's not
Beat
getting...
Weidman or he lost? What was that last one?
Mousasi, he beat him
Beat him,
technically, right? That knee or whatever.
Right.
Who's the interim
Did they give him
champion?
the win on that, or
Yeah.
what was it?
For 185. Oh, Whitaker. And then you got Whitaker, who we all just forgot about.
Yes.
Who we all just forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker.
Anderson Silva's around there somewhere.
So, so this next Bellator card is gonna be 185. Is gonna be pretty cool. If only just for to see how how the Moose does and Heather Hardy. Yeah, there's nobody else big on this. But the next day, UFC Fight Night, Cerrone versus Till. I'm sure none of you have heard of who Darren Till is. It's because he's 3 UFC fights so far. He's an up and comer, 15-0. Fought nothing but bums in Brazil. So we'll see how he does against
The legend.
actual
Cerrone.
competition. The Cowboy, Donald Cerrone.
Yeah. Gonna
Like-
take Cerrone for that one.
Yes, Cerrone, please quit fighting nobodies. You're at the
Why?
top of your division. Please stop
But I
fighting
guess-
nobodies.
I guess he's just always...
An unranked
always
guy?
game. Fuck it. I guess he's giving someone a chance.
Or get a win under his belt.
He's,
Because he's lost the last 2. huh?
Maybe that's what he wants. Get an easy win under his belt.
I think it's just becoming his gimmick is just fighting every 2
Just fight,
months.
yeah.
Just fighting anyone. And,
Whoever.
And he really means it too, I guess.
I don't even think Darren Till offered it to him. I think the UFC just kind of was like, what about this? And he's like, I don't care who I fight. Anybody. So I'm rooting for Darren Till, but Cowboy, man, He's probably going to end up walking through him. Darren Till, a problem with him is he keeps that front leg out real far. He's probably going to get it kicked out by Cowboy. That's one of Cowboy's main things. Cowboy's best when he's going forward and landing all those crazy combos. And Darren Till moves back a lot and just kind of hangs out and lets them do stuff and tries to counter off of it. I don't see him having the experience or anything to be Cowboy in that.
And Cowboy likes to move forward, huh?
Cowboy,
Isn't he
that's
better
his,
when he bullies?
That's his main stuff. When he's bullying people.
Right.
That's why Nate Diaz got to him. That's why Masvidal can get to him. That's why a lot of those guys can push Cowboy around when he starts getting. You can see it in his face when he comes in and he's the bully. He's great. Again, Rick Story, whoever he just beat. You can see like he's like playing in there. But when it's like Nate or somebody, his eyes get real big and he's kind of, okay, just barely in there. So those ones, Carolina Kovalevich versus Jody Escabel. Who is Jody Escabel? Why is Carolina fighting nobodies? Come on, everybody. I got Carolina on that, obviously.
It's 11.
Blachowicz, nobody. Artem Lobov versus Andre Fili.
Yeah, my boy Artem.
Artem Lobov, Connor's boy. I mean,
Our boy by association.
By association, we're fans
Yeah.
of Artem.
Artem by association. I got Andre. Artem sucks.
Boo!
Artem sucks.
Boo!
And Marcin held. Nah, there's no other good fights on that card. The one after, 2 weeks, Machida versus Brunson. We can get more into this later. Lyoto Machida make his return.
Boo.
Karate Kid, the Dragon, Lyoto Machida.
Kris was hating Machida when he made his last comeback.
I've been hating Machida since
Day one.
2008 when he was boring as hell.
You like those Karate Kid kicks, bro?
I was never into it. Never into it.
That's going to be good. And then Damian Maia on the same card.
I feel bad though because he wasn't even looking in good form
When he was
before his outing right now, like before he got ousted or whatever for some banned substance.
Yeah, he got banned for
even
something.
before that, I think he was on a 2 or 3 fight losing.
Machida?
Yeah.
Well, he lost to Weidman.
Weidman.
And then he lost to your boy, No Forget Jesus.
No forget Jesus.
Yo, Romero.
Yeah.
Oh, my
No
boy.
forget Jesus.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're saying that, then do you feel the same way about GSP? Because he didn't look great in his last fight before he
Yeah.
retired.
I think that might be tough, man. But I think
GSP's on a different level, man.
I
Come on.
think
Machida had 0 title defenses. GSP had like 8,
Uh-huh.
7. I don't know.
for sure. I feel like GSP was a lot better than Machida was.
At the end. Yeah, I'll give you that. While we're talking about GSP, you guys want to preview this 217 card? Because I feel like I think we got completely opposite picks the whole card down.
Yeah, I just saw the extended preview, so I'm kind of
You wanna
pumped
call
for
it-
The
it.
extended
don't wanna
preview
call
looks
it
good.
off
I'll
this
link it.
round, see where we all stand.
Yeah, I'll link it in the video, the preview for it. It looks pretty good. But this card's going to be headlining Michael Bisping versus George St. Pierre. Bisping's going to win.
Bisping's gonna win for sure.
I got
For sure.
GSP on
Easy,
this one.
easy money Bisping.
I got Bisping,
Easy money Bisping.
which I never thought I would say, but
Bisping's the man. The count?
Oh, I can't stand him, but
I
he's
know.
gonna win.
No,
I
I
love
know.
Bisping.
Oh, Bisping's- I love his shit
It
talk.
took me a long time to come around.
Uh-huh.
But
Me
recently, I'm like, I like this guy.
Me-
Yeah,
Real
thank
asshole.
you. I'm with you.
And the
I'm with-
aliens are behind you, GSP.
I love
The alien, you and the aliens.
You and the aliens?
US and GSP. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, GSP has gone insane, and they pulled part of his last preview because he was talking about how he's been abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
This man don't believe in aliens and flat Earth. He's crazy.
GSP, that's called brain trauma. That's not aliens.
I think he's just a weird guy.
He is. Garbrandt versus Dillashaw. One of the other of the 3 title fights on this card.
A year in the making.
Yeah.
Cody. My boy Cody.
I got Garbrandt.
I got Dillashaw.
Cody.
You got Dillashaw?
Get out of here, you guys.
What you got, Cody?
Garbrandt for sure.
Garbrandt's a douchebag.
That snake's about
so
to-
Hey,
Bisping.
you guys want to see this? Go watch the Ultimate Fighter last season. Go watch the whole thing.
God.
I'll pull up some. I'll put some highlights in the description.
I could see that tough season changing him with every episode, bro.
Oh yeah,
Like
you could
every
see
episode, his tone was going more from Garbrandt to Dillashaw. And I
Easy.
remember telling him like, "What's going on here? Like, you need to stop watching this."
it. Tough.
What do you mean? What do you
On
what
the
are you
tough, he
Dude,
was watching
Snake.
Tough.
The last season Ultimate Fighter.
saying? Uh-huh.
If you Garbrandt is such a douchebag. When he's doing shots with everybody, yelling, "Shots with the boys!"
Oh, he's one
Like-
of those guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He's like
yeah.
a frat boy.
Oh, he's one of those
show
bros.
first started-
Yeah.
when the show first started, me and Matt were
We're both
100% Garbrandt.
100%. I've been rooting for
And
Garbrandt
then
for
if every
years.
episode passed by, I could see it chiseling away at his team Garbrandt and him moving over to the snake side.
I'm also a
The
huge
snake side.
I'm also a huge Boss Rutan fan, so I feel like I have to go with them.
What does that have to do with Boss Rutan?
Boss Rutan trained Dwayne Ludwig. Dwayne Ludwig is
Dwayne
Dillashaw's
Ludwig had
coach.
coffee with somebody that knew Boss Rutan.
Had coffee. It says Sensei Rutan. You
Boss
talking
Rutan
about?
also trained Kimbo Slice. And
Psh, exactly. All the champs. So yeah. So I got Dillashaw. I think.
Garbrandt for sure. That's 3-1.
I think
Garbrandt.
I'm hoping TJ learned from the Cody fight.
he didn't. He's gonna look like a fool.
From
Garbrandt's
the
gonna dance
Cruz
all
fight.
over him.
Literally dance all over.
We'll see. He
I
might
just
he
wanna
might do
see
the
some
robot
dance
again.
moves.
Wow. Yeah. And then Ioana Jacek versus Rose Namajunas for the 120 or 115 belt.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Rose.
Rest in
Ooh,
peace,
I mean, we've been rooting for Klins. That's your
Rest
girl.
in
My heart
Peace.
says Rose, but my mind says Jurjacek.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna go with Team Rose just because I met her and she was a nice person.
Ioana champion. Ioana champion will win.
That's a bad
Goat.
woman.
Goat of the women for sure.
For sure. I respect
So
fighter.
so if you want to see him fight, Ioana versus Mighty Mouse, who wins? That
Yeah, for real.
You know.
Get out of here.
You know?
You know.
It's like who wins, Ronda Rousey or Floyd Mayweather?
Rousey beats 93% of the fly, or what is it? 93% of the
Men's flyweight?
division?
Yeah, who knows?
Gosh.
And then one of my probably my
People
favorite.
talking that nonsense. Goodness.
This is probably my favorite fight on the whole card: Wonder Boy versus Masvidal. Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson versus Jorge Masvidal. Wonder Boy, big karate flying kicker, and then Masvidal from. If you guys want to look up Masvidal, Jorge Masvidal, he was on Kimbo Slice street fighting
He's legit. He's
league
legit.
or whatever from forever ago. So if there's any fighter that gives credence to what Teddy says about MMA fighters are just like street fighters.
It's like
He's got-
everybody wants to watch Miles Vidal.
He's
He was
got-
a street fighter.
He's got more credit than that.
Yeah,
Come on,
only
that's what you
only
have
watch
to say about him.
him.
You don't know what that is. He used to fight
But
with
that's
Kimbo Slice.
yeah. That's his origin. Actually, Masvidal's an awesome
He's
boxer.
also beaten Donald Cerrone, has he not?
As
Yeah.
just recently, yep,
There
he's
you go.
awesome. Walked him down.
Made him look like a fool.
Wasn't he supposed to fight Robbie Lawler? No? Am I making that up? Wasn't that up
Mm,
to talk
Who do y'all
for a
got
while?
though? Who do y'all got for that pick?
Wonder Boy Masvidal. I got Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy, yeah.
And Wonder Boy.
I think
Team
he's the
Masvidal for sure.
Masvidal.
If Masvidal can keep it clean,
Sure. Stop doubting my man, bro.
you're a man.
Stop doubting him.
You think he can do? Is it going to be a Woodley fight? Is it going to be a stalemate,
No.
or is he going to actually
It
bring it
can't
to
be.
Wonder Boy?
Nah, man, he brings it.
Yeah, he ain't
usually
scared.
always
He's a
brings
street
it.
fighter, man.
Game bred.
Yeah, he usually brings
Know
it.
what he says his name is. Johnny Hendricks.
Bum.
Him and GSP on the same card. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they're gonna pass by each other in the hallway.
Johnny Hendricks versus
Nostalgia, just thinking of the days when I used to like Johnny Hendricks.
When he used to make weight, that's why you
When
like
he
him.
used to knock people
He
out.
needs to be a killer.
Yeah.
What
And he-
happened to him?
and he's fighting Paulo Costa. Y'all know who he is?
became a champion and just lost his mojo and lost his hair and it just
Eats too many
shit
burgers.
just
His
got
barbecue
weird.
went
Shit just
down.
got weird for him. I don't know what happened.
Are you on
but-
drugs or something?
Jesus.
Borrachini.
Borrachina.
So this is who Henderson's fighting?
So yeah, Johnny Hendricks is fighting Borrachina. This
he
dude
makes
looks
weight.
like he should be
Henderson.
light heavyweight. This guy's
Who
rest
is
in
this
peace,
guy?
Johnny Hendricks.
What is he doing?
Borrachina is a Brazilian dude. This dude's shredded. He's huge for 185.
The juice.
The juice.
Hendricks is at 185 now.
Why was that guy? That guy was looking all. What's his name?
Tito Ortiz.
Rua.
Oh yeah, he does look like
He's
Shogun.
looking
He does look like Shogun. So Borrachina is
Oh, you got
Oh,
him.
a little scrap, huh?
Brazilian. He's undefeated too. I want to say he's 10-0. 10-0, 11-0, something like
I'm
that.
assuming he beat that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bam Gabosi. I don't know.
Bamboozled.
You got me on this one, bro. I got all the rest of the
So
names.
Hendricks gonna get wrecked again? Is that what
I
you're saying?
Johnny Hendricks has way better striking than Borrachinha.
Is he coming off a win, Johnny Hendricks?
No.
Or no?
He can't be.
Was it like 3 missed weight losses?
No,
Yeah.
he
so that's a
lost
loss?
to that one.
He can't have
No,
won.
he won. He won, didn't he?
Who did he
I
beat?
thought he had a win. Let me look this
Oh,
up
I
real
hear
quick before we
music.
say something nonsense. Oh man, y'all got me reading this article about the men's soccer team right now. I can't even believe this. I had no idea. Let's look up Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah, what's Johnny Hendricks? Who did he just fight?
Got you, girl. Hold on.
Johnny Hendricks.
That sucks, man.
is-
That sucks for Johnny Hendricks. I really hope
Oh,
he just.
he beat Hector Lombard, but
Oh,
his last
yeah.
fight he lost it.
He lost
He
to
lost Timbo.
Oh,
Forgot he beat Hector Lombard even when he
Boach?
was this weight.
If he loses, you think he's retiring?
Please retire.
You think he will?
Before Hector Lombard.
Start a second podcast called Please Retire, where we just call out old fighters and tell them please leave for your safety and so that we don't have to watch you anymore. This is horrible. I mean, go for it. Fight. I don't care. Do what you want to do, man. But, I mean, brain damage. Johnny Hendricks gets beat up. He's in there to brawl.
Yeah.
He keeps getting knocked out. I don't know. Ayman Zahabi, that's going to be another good fight. That's Faraz Zahabi's little brother. Faraz Zahabi's GSP's coach, if y'all don't know. Faraz Zahabi's a genius, so we'll see. His little brother's really good. Ayman's won his last, I think he's undefeated. Alexei Oleinik, Curtis Blades, that's a good one. Ian Kutalaba against nobody. Sorry, whoever this guy is. Patrick Cummins, Mickey Gall,
Oh, my boy McGall.
Irish Joe Duffy, the last man to defeat Conor McGregor before
Yeah.
Nate Diaz.
The very bottom of the card.
At the very bottom. Isn't that crazy? He beat Conor McGregor, and he's at the bottom.
Girl.
This music keeps coming
what do you
in.
expect to eat if you don't bring nothing to the table, right?
I guess so. So that's pretty much it. Actually, did you guys just want to... You guys want to end it there?
I just wanted to mention something about the men's soccer team right now.
Uh-huh.
Looking stuff up right here just to put things into perspective.
Talk about men's soccer. Get on the mic.
All right, so
Let's talk soccer.
the men's soccer team just lost a game that they had a 93% chance of winning, or at least advancing, because all they had to do was win or tie, and they would advance. And even if they lost, Honduras and Panama would have had to have beaten two of the top teams, Mexico and Costa Rica, for them to get eliminated. So basically the stars aligned and they fucked it all up and knocked themselves out basically. And one of the 2 goals that the other team scored was an own goal.
So they were all set to make it in.
Yeah, they were all set to advance. Basically
They
just
ruined it.
had to-
They shit the bed, you're saying.
Yeah, like pretty much the stars just aligned, bro, because they lost to a team that they should have clearly beat. That team apparently, Trinidad and Tobago, was on. Let me see what they were on. Basically, that team, Trinidad and Tobago, were playing just to play because they literally had 1 win in the 9 last games they had played. So they had lost 8 out of 9 games, and they were only
1-8 or 1-8.
they had won 1 out of 9 games, and they weren't gonna qualify. They weren't gonna do it. They're basically just playing for pride, like, just try to get a win, I guess.
Right.
And they somehow managed to lose to that, while the other teams managed to pull through on what they had to do to knock them out. So it's pretty crazy, man.
U.S. soccer sucks.
That is crazy.
That is not our sport.
Don't disrespect America.
That is crazy. I cannot even believe that.
They weren't feeling it this year.
I mean, were they going to do anything anyway?
I mean, they have a real.
They would have at least had a chance.
Well, they have a real knack for going to the World Cup and embarrassing themselves. But still, it's the World Cup, man. It's
Right,
the
at least
best
you
of the
win.
best, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, you just want to get in because as soon as you get in, anything can happen. You never know.
Could win.
Yeah, but damn, that's embarrassing, bro. Not getting into the World Cup, that's... Like I said, man, I think Egypt hadn't gotten into the World Cup since, like, 1990, bro, and they just got in, so...
Egypt took our place. Wow.
That's crazy, right? I can't even
Trump's
believe that, man.
America.
I'm reading these articles and I just can't even believe like that. When you told me right now, I almost fell off the chair. When you're like they didn't make it into the World Cup.
What?
I was like, what? And I like immediately had to start reading up on this, and I just can't even believe this.
Are there any current events or anything we need to talk about? I told Teddy I was going to talk about Miguel Cotto announced that he's making his final fight. He's going to be retiring after this next fight against a nobody. And I'll be honest, I don't even know why I'm talking about Miguel Cotto right now, because Miguel Cotto hasn't beaten anyone. You know who the biggest person he's beaten? I'm pretty sure Paulie Malignaggi. Connor can beat Paulie. Get out of here. Get out of here. Cotto sucks. Cotto's fought all the best.
He's fought Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
2009.
Canelo. Floyd Mayweather.
No, that was a while back, too.
Cotto's fought them all and got his ass handed to him by all of them. And I'm glad he's retiring. You heard me, Teddy.
But he wants to go out on top.
How about this?
Go out with a win.
The dude going into weigh-ins practically dead.
Oh, yeah, I saw that video.
I will link that video in the description too.
Hard to watch.
Wait, what happened?
In Ryzen in Japan, there was a fight this weekend. I think I sent you that link where the guy's walking up to the scales to weigh in, and they're having to like carry him on, pretty much drag him on to make weight, and then hold him there. He makes it. And he's leaning over, all hunched. Like he looks sick. It looks gross. And then they have to carry him off, and he's all hunched over, and they're carrying him, and then they let him fight.
He went 15 minutes. There's no way.
Did he do?
It's
good?
insane.
Did he win?
I don't know. Did he, Dave? You didn't even see.
Nobody
No one even
cares.
cares.
I feel like at that point you're fighting against the odds, like 'cause you're
Fighting
against
yourself.
everything, yeah. Like it's tough enough going into a fight, into like a cage against another high level opponent, and then to do that to your body before you do that, it's like why are you stacking everything against yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked rough.
I don't know why though. Like a lot of people struggle too. Johnny Hendricks, right? He's missed weight so many times too. It's like, dude, I don't know what to say to you, man. You're at the highest level in this sport. Are you telling me you can't control yourself?
You want to talk about your boy Kelvin Gastelum here? I didn't want to bring him up in
but
front of
Kelvin
you.
Gastelum has straight up bounced back. Bro.
He's killing it in 85. You're right,
sure.
but he should be at 70.
I
He
think
would be
should.
a world
I think
beater
he
at
should,
170.
for sure, yeah.
Well, he looks good at 85. I mean,
You're right. So if he looks that good at 85.
But that last fight with Weidman, you don't think that made a big difference? Like you don't feel like he was.
I think that was 90%
like
of those.
And size,
I think 90% of that wrestling.
I think that was fine. That was a war. So
Those
that was against Weidman, who I think is the best middleweight in the world.
You don't feel like if he was a little bit stronger or bigger.
I think he could have won some of those grappling
would've won that?
exchanges if
You
he
don't
was
think he
bigger.
would've
I
won
don't think that's
You
that
don't think
big
that
of a
made a big
difference.
difference? You don't think
No,
so?
I don't think so.
No, yeah. When he was underneath Weidman like that, when Weidman had his back and when he was holding him off to the side, kind of, and Gastelum was turtling,
Right.
100% if he was bigger, he'd have been able to get out of that a little bit better.
Yeah, if he was
So,
bigger.
so if he was
There's a
bigger,
lot of
or
scenarios where I
you're right, or if he was fighting smaller guys, he should be
But
at
when he fights
170.
smaller guys, he's more drained and
You're right.
just not as prepared. He
So quit cutting the weight like that. Quit eating.
might have more energy to fight bigger guys like
Yeah.
Weidman now. So I don't know.
I think a 175 division would benefit him as well. If they get rid of 70 for 75.
Well, Kevin Lee's talking about 65, huh? He wants a 65.
Yeah, Kevin Lee's talking about wanting to get into 65.
Yeah, one.
A lot of people do. So I think everybody's been reading my article probably. That's got to be what it is, where all the talk's coming from.
Yeah, dude,
Dana
that
White.
dude's struggling at 170. There's no way he'd make 165.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. We're hitting about an hour here.
All right,
Pretty much it.
Masvidal, bro.
Awesome.
He's about to
Masvidal.
pull through.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Please like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. We're on YouTube. We're on iTunes, Instagram at Unqualified with,
Rockets
Twitter
won
as
today,
well.
by the way.
Huh?
Rockets won today, by the way.
Oh, Rockets won.
That was me, too.
You just look it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, like and subscribe, all that stuff. If you guys want to see any of the videos that we talked about, go to the description. The link should all be in there. I'll link all our profiles and everything. Any of you guys want to put your Instagrams or anything out there?
No, I have a private life.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Next time.